You know, darling, everybody's taking up this motoring lark these days. Would you like to have a bash at it?
Oh, yes, rather. It's a lovely day for it.
Swap seats with me then, and I'll show you how to carry on.
Oh, I say, this is jolly exciting. Great fun.
Steady on, old girl. We're coming to a corner. Slow down. Slow down. Use the brake.
Which is that? Oh dear.
As you can see, learning to drive has changed over the years. Obviously, with the volume of traffic on the roads today, you can no longer afford to learn in a haphazard fashion. But many of the problems that occur when first learning to drive are caused by the supervisor not giving information early enough. Besides keeping his eyes on the road ahead, like you, he has to watch what you are doing as well. This kind of thing needn't happen.
What is going on? Oh, come on.
That's it. I've had enough. I am not going out driving with you again.
This Stage 1 program is designed to teach you the basic control of the vehicle. It will take you from starting off and stopping to negotiating fairly simple junctions. But to understand basic control, you really have to understand a little of how a car actually works. So we're going to start by looking at the principal hand and foot controls. And we're going to start with the pedals. And we'll label the pedals A, B, and C. Like that. Now, the pedals A and B are operated by the right foot. Pedal C over here is operated by the left. Let's look at the function of each of these pedals in turn, and we'll start with pedal A over on the right. Pedal A for accelerator. This pedal controls the power of the engine. Power will be increased by depressing the pedal gently so that the engine speeds up. This is known as acceleration. Releasing the accelerator pedal will cause the engine to slow down. This is known as deceleration. Notice that the engine won't stop altogether. It will tick over or idle. As the word accelerator is rather a mouthful, from now on we're going to call it the gas or the gas pedal. Now let's look at the second of our three pedals, pedal B, B for brake. The foot brake controls the slowing down and stopping of all the wheels. As the brake pedal is pressed, the brake lights come on to warn the drivers behind you that you are slowing down or stopping. Gentle pressure on the brake pedal will slow the car down gently. Slightly more firm pressure will reduce the speed of the car much more rapidly. Now, as both the accelerator and the brake pedal are operated by the right foot, that foot should normally be placed in a position where you can quickly and conveniently reach and operate both pedals. And that's usually done by placing the heel of the foot on the floor midway between the pedals. Now, you should always ensure that the ball of the foot is used on the brake pedal to prevent the foot slipping off and to get a much better feel of the brakes. In all normal circumstances, both these pedals should be used gently. Now for our third pedal, pedal C. C for clutch. The clutch is the only pedal operated by the left foot. The clutch enables you to separate the drive from the engine to the gearbox, allowing the engine still to run when the car is brought to a stop, and to help in smooth gear changing. To be able to operate the clutch properly, you really do need to know how it works. It's basically in two halves. One half is permanently attached to the engine. The other half is connected through the gearbox to the driving wheels. With the pedal in its normal position, the two halves of the clutch are held together by spring pressure. Therefore, when the engine is running and a gear is selected, the power of the engine is transmitted to the driving wheels and the car will move. But when the clutch pedal is fully depressed, the two halves of the clutch are separated. The power is disconnected from the driving wheels. The car may stop, even roll back, but the engine will continue to run. Well, there we are. That's the pedals. Now the hand controls, and we'll start with the handbrake. Now the handbrake is usually located on the floor between the two seats. Once the car has stopped, the handbrake is used to keep it stationary, It's not designed for use when the car is moving. To release the handbrake, pull it firmly upwards, push the button at the end in and keep it pressed in, push the lever as far down as it will go, let go of it and return your hand back to the steering wheel. To apply the handbrake, you simply reverse the process. You press the button in, you keep it held in all the way up, raise the lever up as far as it will go, then take your thumb off the button and let go of the lever. Never apply the handbrake without first having pressed that release button, as this will eventually cause wear on the locking mechanism and the handbrake may end up releasing itself. Now to the gears. And to talk about gears, we really need a gear lever, so let's put one in. Presto. And the reason we had to put it in electronically is so that you could see the pedals behind it earlier on. Anyway, the gear lever sits there just forward of the handbrake. It's used to select the required gear. At the moment, it's sufficient for you to know if the gear lever is in the neutral position or actually in gear. Now, you can recognize neutral by a relatively free sideways waggle of the lever compared to a more restricted movement when it's in gear. This will be much more apparent when you get the feel of the lever in its various positions. The feel is even more apparent if you grip the knob with your thumb and forefinger only. Selecting the gears should always be done gently. Now to the steering and the steering wheel. Now there's a lovely pre-war cartoon of a somewhat perplexed middle-aged lady saying to her driving instructor, "And do I have to keep on holding this?" I'm afraid the answer to that is yes, you do, rather. But how you hold it's fairly important. You see, the steering wheel acts directly on the front wheels. During normal driving, the hands are placed in what's called the 10-to-2 position, where the wheel should be held lightly but firmly. 10-to-2? Well, consider the steering wheel as a clock. 2 o'clock would be about there, so 10-to-2 would be like that. You'll also need to know the location and the operation of the indicator switch, which is usually a stalk here near the steering wheel. And you'll find there are many other instruments, warning lights, driver aids and controls that you needn't worry about just now. Well, now it's time for you to get to know the principal controls of your own vehicles. To do this, we suggest that you get your supervisor to drive you to a nice quiet road, well away from any traffic, and park the car. The whole thing should then look and sound rather like this.
Well, but you've obviously got a good understanding of the controls. You obviously have studied up your workbook and video quite well there. Yeah. You know what the functions are and the methods of operation and the location of the various foot and hand controls. You did very well there.
I thought it was important to...
Oh yes, so you're off to a good start, yeah, that's good. So I take it that you've been studying through not just that part of it, but your cockpit drill and you're moving off and stopping and so on as well. That's good, yeah. I had a look at your markings in the workbook and what you'd marked up there and the drawings that you'd made, and I was quite pleased with what you'd done there as well. So nothing to untoward there. That was all went well as well. So hopefully the theory you'll be able to put into practice. All going well?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Right, what we're going to move on to now then is going through your cockpit drill. So we'll see if you can remember that as well as you did with the controls. Can you tell me how you would start off with that?
Yep, the first thing I need to make sure my doors are shut.
Yes, good.
So I can give it a tug.
Mm-hmm.
And I can look in the two mirrors and I should be able to see the bodywork. It should be all looking flush. No doors should look as if they're open.
That's the idea, good.
And I can do the same on your side as well.
Can you see past me all right there, yeah?
Yeah, they're fine.
So that one looks all right as well?
Yeah.
You're quite happy with both of these?
Yep.
Right.
So doors. I need now to alter the base of the seat, is it?
Well, you might not need to alter it. You've got to check and see if you do require to alter it. So how would you do that?
Oh, and I think press your clutch pedal to the floor.
Would you like to just try that then?
Yeah, I can reach the floor.
Yeah, you can reach it, but it looks a little bit stretched. Your knee's at full stretch there, you see?
Right, yeah.
So just try that again. You feel that's a little bit strain on your knee there, and your leg there.
Yeah.
Right, so the seat adjuster, We can't show you where that is because that varies from car to car.
Right.
It's on the bottom right hand corner there, if you just like to
Oh, yeah.
locate that.
Yep.
Pull that up slightly and hold on to the wheel, and just move the seat in a little bit. Right, that's it, and it's clicked into position. Let's always make sure it's done that.
Yeah.
Then it won't move, and just try
Oh, that
again.
feels better.
Let it up
Yeah.
again and try it again. Down again and up.
Yeah, I'm not stretching now.
And you're not catching the steering wheel or
No,
the
no, I've
column
got-
there, you're all
no.
right with that, yeah?
Feels fine, yeah.
Quite happy with that now?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, good.
I need to be able to move my hands around on the steering
Yeah,
wheel.
would you like to just try that then?
So,
Uh-huh.
so if I can't do that properly, I might need to alter this back part.
That's right, that's correct. So
Either forward or-
that looks as if it's all right. If you're happy enough with
Feels
that, I don't
fine,
think we
yeah.
need to move that.
Yeah.
If you should require to move it, there's a round knob at the side of the seat here on this
Okay.
side and this one.
Yep.
Some cars it's on the other side and so on. So you would move that to make the seat a bit more upright if you felt you were too far away and stretching. Your elbows should be slightly bent,
Like
as
now.
they are, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other way around, if you felt you were a bit cramped up and a bit too close to your body, then you'd make it more reclining by turning it the opposite way.
Yeah.
So that's fine, good, well done.
So doors, seat. Oh, the headrest. I need
Yes,
to make sure that's okay. Feels okay.
right, so where should it be?
Should my ear be like just on?
Yes, yeah,
top there,
that's
top
the
there.
right height.
So it's in the middle of my head.
Okay, just one little thing there, that's good that you've remembered that. But what we refer to as a head restraint, actually, it's a safety device
Oh, right.
rather than
It's not a
just a
headrest.
rest as such. Yeah, just
Yeah.
a slight slip of the tongue in
The
that
tongue,
sense.
yeah.
Most people refer to them as headrests, but it's not really for resting your head, it's for protection to your head and neck. You know, so
Yeah.
it's a safety feature in the
Okay.
car, that's
Yeah,
why the
head restraint.
manufacturers put them in now, just from the safety point of view,
Okay.
to prevent whiplash injuries. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
so
right.
good, but well done. So going on from there.
So that's my doors. That's my seating done. Mirrors. So I think I alter that with my left hand.
Yeah, that's the idea. Grip it between your thumb and forefinger. And what are you trying to alter it to? What sort of position?
I think the book and
You
the
remember
video
the
sort of
diagram in the video and
Yeah.
in the book?
said I need to be able to. Can't remember the word that it used now.
Frame? Is that the
Frame.
word you're looking
Yeah,
for?
I need to be able to frame the back window.
So can you do that at the moment?
Yeah.
You're not seeing any
All I
roof,
can
back
see
seat
at
or
the moment
pillars?
is complete glass. 'Cause it's,
Good, that's exactly
you know,
what we want,
quite
right?
big
Okay.
window, isn't it?
So you can see back towards that yard
I
and the
can-
railings back there and
yeah,
the car
I
that's
can see
just
the
gone
car,
past.
the green car that's
Yeah.
just gone by.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see that quite clearly.
Yeah.
Right, if you look ahead and then look in the mirror, again, you see how
Yeah.
you're only having to move your head slightly.
Yeah.
You're not having to move your body physically. So you should be able at a glance to sort of just turn your head slightly and see what's going on. You don't want to have to lean over or move
Right.
your body or sit
Yeah.
up or down, to see in it. So,
So
that's
okay,
fine, yeah.
is it?
So
Yeah.
that's ideal.
Then there's the door mirrors,
Yes,
and I think on this guy, don't you alter it by this little?
that's correct.
Yeah.
And there's one a little arrow pointed to the
Yeah,
left
to-
and the
to
right. So do they require adjustment?
I just don't
How would you
know.
be able to tell? What are you actually looking for before
I
you
need
move
to be
it?
able to see a little bit of the car
Yes.
and the
So
road,
can you see a
down
little bit of
road.
the car at the moment?
Yeah, and I just saw that car that just went by.
Yes, so you can see that all right as
Yeah.
well. Okay.
And I just think it needs to be moved just a fraction.
And what about height? Are you seeing similar amounts of road and sky, or
It's about the same, I think.
yeah? Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
ideal.
Can't see
Do you
too
think
much
that's
sky.
what it should be?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like the picture in the
Yeah, good.
diagrams and everything.
Good. Well, that's what I wanted. How about this one?
That one looks okay. I can see a little bit down the side of the car. I can see
Mhm.
that pedestrian walking towards us.
Mm-hmm.
The car that's overtaking us.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now, when
it's-
you're looking at the pedestrian walking there, if you look in this mirror and then that, did you see any
Can't see-
difference?
Yeah, well,
You can't
yeah,
see them now.
I can't see her now.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
She looked bigger in that one. than what
In this
she-
one?
In that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was? Can you remember why we're reading the books?
These are convex, aren't they?
That's right.
Don't
What
they
difference does?
shrink the image
That's right. And make things look
smaller, so further away.
and further away as well. Good. Well done. Right, you've got a good idea of that, and that's them adjusted all right. Can you remember anything else that you've got to do in your cockpit drill?
Oh, seatbelt.
Good. Well done.
Make sure it's not twisted as well.
That's good. You remembered that.
it and that's not twisted.
Yeah. The height's all right for you at that. It's coming over your shoulder, not cutting into your neck.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. That's
Because that adjusts up or down if you need to. I think you've got it down as it is.
Yeah,
So that should be all right for you.
yeah.
I need it slightly higher, you know,
Yeah.
my build.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
That
Yeah.
all right for you?
Yeah, that feels okay.
Right. Quite happy with that then?
Yep.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Does it matter if I wear one or not?
Yes, it does. Can you put your seatbelt on, please?
Right, I
Aeneas?
certainly will.
I forgot about that.
Oh, don't worry about it, you know. It's strange to you.
Yeah, I'm just so used to putting my seatbelt on and
Yeah.
not thinking about anybody else. So
That's right, you're
my
used to
responsibility
as a
with the
passenger.
seatbelts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you remember reading that, yeah?
Yeah.
Quite happy
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Right, good. Okay. So I've got mine on and mine's not twisted and it's coming across there all right as well for me. Okay. Right, that's your cockpit drill. So quite happy with that?
Yeah.
Right. What we
Surprised I
want.
remembered it.
Good, you did very well again. Right, let's see how we do with the next stage then, which is the one you're no doubt looking forward to. Maybe with a little bit of apprehension, but nevertheless, to actually getting the car on the move.
Yeah.
So to start with, we've gone through where everything is and gone through all the sort of procedure as to what you're going to do. You've read up on it, you've looked at the video on it. If you want me to sort of spell it out in detail before we go and actually have a try at it, then I'll do that. Or if alternatively, if you would like me to give you a demonstration of how to do it, how to move off and stop, then we'll do that. If not, then the other alternative we've got is for me just to sort of prompt you as we've been doing with the other things and help you out.
Getting on with it because
Yeah,
I'm
right.
one that
You're keen
likes
to get going.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
if I go
you're
wrong, help me out.
quite happy. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
If you miss something out or don't
Yeah.
do it right, I'll
So I've
soon
done a lot
tell you.
of background work at home, so
Uh-huh. So have you sat in the car behind the wheel at all?
yeah, I've been practicing the family car without
Uh-huh.
the engine switched on.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Good.
and I've just been trying to talk
Trying
myself
through
through
it,
it and
through it.
everything.
Right, good.
Yeah.
That's ideal. So that'll be a help then. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So from there then, what are we going to do then? What's the first thing we're going to do?
Before I switch my engine on,
Yeah.
I make sure that the gear lever's in neutral and
Uh-huh.
the handbrake's on.
Right. Very good. But unfortunately, the wrong way round.
Oh,
Can you tell me why that's the wrong way round? Can you remember reading that? If not, I'll tell you.
no, I can't really.
Okay, right, that's fine. Very simple. If the car was left in gear and you were to take it out of gear and the handbrake wasn't on properly or wasn't on at all, if we're on a slight slope, which we are here actually, very little, but just a slight bit,
Yeah.
then we might roll back or forward.
Of course, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, you remember that now?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can,
good. No, I don't expect you to remember everything.
Yeah.
You've done very well so far.
So it's handbrake first.
Handbrake
neutral,
first.
Always handbrake.
Yes,
neutral.
yeah, so you just like to check these again in that order?
Handbrake.
Just to get you into the habit of it.
Oh, and
No.
you're in gear as well, won't it?
Ah, yeah. Now, how are you going to check the difference?
Give it a wobble.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And in gear it didn't.
It didn't, no.
Right, okay.
All right.
So you did move it before, but it was
Yeah.
up there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the difference. Quite happy with that now?
Yes, I am now.
That's
yeah.
why I got you to check it again. I knew
Yeah.
it was wrong, but I didn't know if you did.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, now we present you with this.
Thank you.
It's not the golden award, that's the key.
Feels
It goes
like
in
it,
either way.
Right, so I
Yeah,
can't
so
put
if
it
you just
upside
try,
down or
yeah,
anything like
that's
that.
fine. And you'll find it when you get it in. The first thing you're going to
Yeah.
do, if you try moving the steering wheel just now, it's locked. Yeah, that's the anti-theft device. So to free it
Right.
from that, you just turn the key round just a fraction and move the wheel slightly.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
you got that?
Yeah.
Now, if you turn your key just a fraction further, you'll see that you get a series of warning lights on.
I can
That's
see that.
telling you everything's sort of connected up.
Okay.
Right, now to actually start the car, we've already checked the handbrake and neutral,
Yeah.
so we're all right there. So if you just give it a little flick and release. Okay, that's good, and you can let it go now.
Yep.
Right, so we've got the car started. Now, see if you can tell me then what you're going to do in preparation for moving off. What would be the first thing that you would do?
Select first gear.
Yeah, so how would you go about doing that?
Cup my hand that way.
Before you do that.
Oh, I put my clutch down to the
Good,
floor.
well done. I'd like to do that then?
Up to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And then select first
Yes. Good, well done.
Yeah.
And your hand back in the wheel, that's good. Now,
gear.
think about what you're going to do
I
next.
set my gas.
Yes. No, not too much, yeah, that's it. It's very sensitive.
It is.
You would read that and so on, but
Realise it was that sensitive.
no. Just try it again. Right, relax it a bit again. Just come off altogether again. And just make contact with the pedal, just so as your foot's, if you can feel through the sole of your foot that you're just touching it, and then just squeeze ever so gently.
That's better. I was putting my foot on it.
Yeah, you were actually pressing on it rather than squeeze.
Yep.
Alright, so it's a case of a squeeze rather than a
To
pressure.
a lively hum.
Yeah, that's it, well done.
Is that lively enough?
Just a fraction more, not a lot. There.
So I can...
Yeah, you hear the difference there?
Yep.
Alright.
Yep.
It'll take you a few times when we're practicing this just to get it right, you know. So you're done well so far. Now, are you going to keep that foot in that position, or what are you going to do with
Still,
it?
I think it says, yeah.
Good,
somewhere.
correct. Now, what would be the next thing you would do?
I get me biting points.
Right, so what are you going to do to...
I bring my clutch up.
Yes? Too much? Down a bit? Right, okay. Right. Handbrake's still on. Make sure that you're back to neutral.
Sorry about that.
No need to apologise. Right, we'll just turn the key to start it up again. And then we'll tell you and work out what went wrong there. Now, before we try and put it into gear and get it ready again, what you said was, I let my clutch come up, but you didn't say the word slowly. You forgot about that to the biting point. And what are you going to do? How are you going to tell when you've reached the biting point?
If the engine changes.
That's right. So this time, when we get to
Forgotten
that
that.
stage, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Quite understandable. Just bring it up slowly and listen carefully.
Right.
And then when it reaches
Yeah.
that point, hold it there, or even go down a bit on it.
Right.
But
Look it up.
okay,
That
right.
makes-
So if you like to
makes
try
sense.
that sequence again, good. And now your right foot.
Just squeeze it.
That's better. See, you got it almost perfect right away this time.
And then just bring my clutch up a little bit.
Yeah, a bit slower this time, but not quite so far. There. Now just put it down again and try that again. You know what you're listening for this time. Did you hear it
I
change
heard
there?
it-
Yeah.
I heard it drop, yeah.
Yeah, good. Right, listen again. There.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that now? Quite
Yeah.
happy with that?
Yeah.
Right, so what are you going to do next?
Is it my checks?
Yes.
So
Where would
check
they be?
This mirror
Ah,
and that mirror.
good.
And then this one.
Yes.
And then my blind spot.
Yeah, so whereabouts that? Yeah.
Over that shoulder there.
Yeah, good.
And then if it's clear,
Now, before you release that, what are you going to consider?
a signal.
Quite a lot of activity, isn't there? Somebody just getting into a car.
Yeah.
So it would be
So,
best to give one, wouldn't it?
signal.
Right. Have another look in the mirrors to see that it's still safe. And these pedestrians are far enough away, so you can release the handbrake, yeah? You remember how to do that?
Yeah. Down.
All the way, and your hand back on the wheel.
Yeah.
Now, only lift the clutch just a little bit. Not all the way up, just a fraction. Remember how far, roughly? Just try and keep your right foot steady. That's good. Watch ahead. Now, cancel the signal. That's it, good. Apply gentle pressure, very gentle to the gas. Not much, that's it. We're only going to go up to see where the grass verge is, up there, around there somewhere.
Yep.
So, steer a little bit towards the right at the moment. Not by much, just a little bit to take up your normal driving position, about a metre out. Remember that? Now, to stop the car, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Put my foot on my brake.
No, before that. Think
check
about
the
it.
mirror.
Right, watch where you're going as well when you're doing that. Steer a little bit more to the right. And what other mirror are you going to check?
That one.
Right, good. Now what are you going to do with your feet?
Brake.
Now, gently, very gently. Clutch. Don't worry about that. Put the clutch down as well now. Now keep both feet down just to get you into the habit. And you remember that yourself. Handbrake neutral. All done. Right, before we start up again, that was very good for the first attempt. Your moving off was nice. You were a bit wary about it. You were looking deadly serious. Oh, I'm terrified
looking
here,
forward
did
to
it?
this, but it's
Yeah, but you were
frightening.
all tensed up there. Just try and relax, you know.
Right,
We're not going to
okay.
shout at you if you do it wrong, you
I'm
know.
frightened of making a mistake.
Yes, I know. That's it. And that's
And I've
understandable.
stalled it twice.
Yeah, well, that's nothing to worry about. I probably stalled it half a dozen times when I started, you know. I didn't keep count of them, but don't worry about it. That's
okay.
everybody does these sort of things. You only learn from the mistakes.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Right, so we got moving off all right. Once we'd got away, When you were coming up to stop, you're quite clear on that sequence now. You're dead keen to
Check
get this
the mirror
brake on.
first,
Yes, check the
then
mirrors. It's
brake.
always mirrors, then consider a signal, and then the manoeuvre, which
Yeah.
is the braking part.
Right.
Now, you hadn't used the brake before, so it's
No.
understandable you pressed a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
And as a result, because of the pressure you exerted on the brake, the car had stopped before you got the clutch down.
Yeah,
You'd started to press it down,
just
but you
thinking
didn't
about
get
my
it right
brake.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So just a light touch. It's the same as we said about the gas pedal.
Yeah.
You know, at first you wanted
Yeah,
to
it
press
was
too much,
straight
didn't
down,
you?
yeah.
So you did exactly the same with the brake.
Mhm.
So what you want to do again, you remember the term it had said in the books and in the video?
Squeeze and ease, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's the same term, isn't it? It's not
Right.
press.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
squeeze down.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So it's a case of squeeze and then ease off just as you stop,
Right.
so that you're getting a nice smooth
Might not
stop.
be too bad now because at least I've moved.
Oh yeah, you did very well. Very well for the first attempt. Some people don't even get away.
Right.
So there you are.
Okay, so I'm not
Right.
as bad as I think.
No, not at all. Right, so you're quite happy to have another go at it
I
then?
am, yes.
And you're quite clear on these points there.
Yeah.
You understand what we're going
Yeah.
to try and do this time. And don't worry if you get them wrong again. It won't matter. We'll sort them out. And just practice.
Alright.
Right, so if you're ready, we'll make sure you carry out your checks. Every time you cut the engine out or stall it or whatever, or switch it off, always carry out these same checks again before you restart.
Okay.
Okay? Now, see if you can do it a little bit more with less help from me this time.